Knees shaking, palms sweating, heart beating. Standing here in front of 180, last time I counted, individuals is, I would not call an easy endeavor, but a very essential one. Why? Well, to reveal myself, to reveal the very essence of who I am, to find myself in spaces where courage is required, the very value that I live by, the very value that got me to where I am today. To have the courage to embark upon a journey that I call my true north, the revelation of my true self. Just like chipping away at a sculpture, revealing those tough layers, revealing the beautiful sculpture as it is. So what's the point? Well, the more courage that I have to do the things that are uncomfortable, the more I get to experience, the more I get to transform and chip away at those tough layers. Which ultimately leads to my growth and impact on others, which is part of my true north. So how did it all start? Being part of an Eastern European family, you only had one choice, two choices. You either become a doctor or a lawyer. Well, the Suits looked kind of like an interesting show, so the choice was fairly obvious. But little did I know that this choice would take me on a very long, lonely path of struggle for 2 years. A blessing in disguise, which made me shed my very first true layer. The very first courageous action that I had to take to say no to myself and my family and say, no, this is not the path for me, despite all the money, emotion, and time that I put into it. So now what? Introspection and self-discovery started and made me ask a very fundamental question of who am I? Who is it that I need to become? What is it that I need to do? Well, my passion for psychology and my unwavering desire to elevate the human spirit present itself an opportunity, a discovery. And through courage, I was able to present and create workshops on authentic happiness. Authentic happiness. It really made me realize something about human nature, and it's the deadly desire to want to look good in front of others, whether it's mental, physical, through your actions. To want to pursue the practical rather going for something that you truly want. By staying in your seats quietly, by not voicing your opinions, your desires, by not going after what you truly want, and by not taking what I call the courageous action, you take another kind of action. Has anybody had a day when they knew they really needed to do something, but you didn't do anything all day, and then you just felt really, really tired at the end of it all? Do you know where this energy actually went? You took a guess into your thinking, into the very act of suppressive thinking of not doing something, not allowing your desires in. Which the funny thing is about the convoluted thing about psychology is it takes more energy to think about stuff than actually going and doing the things you know you want to do. I love psychology. That's fascinating. So, what's my story? Well, during my master's degree, I really realized I did not want to do a 9-to-5 kind of job. I didn't want to work for the sake of money. I wanted to make a real impact, just many of us millennials do. Well, yet, the practical took over again. And I screwed up here, and this is Forrest Gump. I had another story with that, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. So now I found myself really on a journey and understanding that there's really a path that I've been taking in my life. And as pursuing through courage, pursuing practical, and then going turmoil, and then going back to the challenge again. Well, recently I had to take another action. I had to say no again to another opportunity, which I was very, very unsatisfied with. So I took a master's degree, and after I got a job, and then my fellow graduate said, Iana, if there was an actual job that you had to receive an award for the most unlikely job that you would take, you probably win an award for it. And I'm thinking, well, at least I win in something. And here, I had to, again, make a choice. I had to take that courageous action once again and to peel off that one more layer of who I am. And now I find myself on a journey, playing a much, much bigger game. I'm part of a social enterprise that's alleviating global poverty and cleaning our oceans from plastic. But it doesn't come without its challenges, not at all. My big boss is going to the Vatican at the end of the month, and he's like, Iana, we need a deck pitch for the Pope. I'm like, okay, internet, what's going on? Well, one thing I learned, there is no such thing as how to create a pitch deck for the Pope. Another layer needs to come off. Now, I really want to leave you here with a thought. Have the courage to dive into the unknown. Because really you, at the end of the way, get to reveal something beautiful. A little bit of your layer off, and you get a glimpse of your true north. And finally, I really want to thank each and every one of you here for being part of my peeling off another one of our layers off and chipping away at that tough thing, despite the screwed up that you've had, something I get to learn, no matter how small it is. Thank you very much.